Hey everyone, it's Cal. I hope you're doing well. I'm back in the little house today. I actually painted both walls, this one too, because the walls are kind of small, just so I can have a little bit more space when I'm talking to you, even though my days here are limited. 5 more days, sadly. Yeah, so today I wanted to talk about exorcism. And the idea of what's going on when somebody is possessed. Because I've had a couple experiences and I've had to deal with them. And when somebody becomes possessed, it can happen on a tiny level or, a medium level or a large level. When it comes to your vibration, it's really, it's such a simple topic, but yet it is complex. But it is the velocity, and the amount of energy that is out of balance that causes the change in your vibration that aligns with malefic spirits. Now, again, here I am talking about something that 5 years ago I never believed in. I thought exorcism was fairy tales out of Hollywood. And I got to tell you, my mind again has been changed dramatically. It's a 180 from where I was at, just purely through my experiences, which I'm not going to get into today. So hundreds of years ago, they used to say, oh, the devil's got you when you've got, a little bit of illness, a cough, or some sickness in the body. And that's because that's your vibration out of alignment. But your vibration can go further and further and further out of alignment. Sometimes you can still have a healthy body. It's the mind that is way out of alignment. And mind exists not just in your head, but all throughout your entire body. And when these specific thoughts, and there are specific thoughts for specific entities. Remember, you're dealing in a universe of emotional energy. And what you're working towards doing here on this planet is controlling your emotional energy, understanding your emotional energy. And after you finish conquering your own emotional energy, then you can conquer the emotional energy outside of you, because everything is emotion. This chair I'm sitting on, this wall, these plants, everything is emotional energy, energy in motion. So yeah, when your mind gets so out of alignment, let's just say, you have grief about something you did. And it goes into such an advanced state where you are beating yourself up. It's not just feeling grief, but you are entertaining thoughts of, I'm so bad. Oh, I can't believe I did this. What was I thinking? What is the matter with me? And this goes into a constant spiral that is revisited daily. Well, that vibration grows and grows and grows. And then you are attracting a malefic spirit to align with you. Things can start going wrong in your life. The spirit can visit you, which in my case it did. And, I was blown away, like completely blown away, especially because I did not believe in any of this. So now, depending where you're at, this is your internal axis here, okay? This is what links to the mother to create the root. You can see that there. So this is where you're going to root, and you're working on all these levels daily. You don't just work on the Kundalini and meditation, you're working on them all of the time, even without your knowing. Just by being here on the planet, you're working on these. And so is everything else that is living. That blade of grass, that dog that you own, the neighbor's cat, everything is working on these levels of being. And when you reach the height of human body, you have all the levels in place, and then you're bringing them into alignment. And then once they are in full alignment, you connect to your father, mother principle, the goddess, which you're going to root to in this planet, or maybe another planet, and the father principle, where you came from. Now, although I talk about these in very simplistic form so we can really get a grasp on what they are in greater and greater forms. So in terms of linking to this planet is our sort of local mother, so to speak. And the father, our local father, is going to be the sun. And these two aspects, exist all throughout your body, but the king and queen of them exist in the head, the sort of mountain on the hill. So when it comes to visiting negative emotions on a habitual basis, what happens is you become those emotions. You sort of, a part of your being morphs into that. And that will link out, let's say you have an emotion that is maybe linked to this level, or it's linked to this level. Then you're going to a negative emotion. So you can have, say, the positive here and the negative there, and it's pulling you out of alignment. But also you can have, when you're really out of alignment, and this is going to sound a little bit whacked out, but let me just show you. Here you are. When you are really out of alignment, here's the root. And then here you are here. There's your head. Here you are here. You mirror into the negative because there are so many different parts of the self, and this is where things get a little bit complicated. And that's why whenever you start getting really negative, you really got to grab your mind and pull yourself back. So what happened to me was I was beating myself so much up because I was so low that I actually went into this underworld. Part of my being went there, and that's when I attracted a malefic being. Now, normally we don't beat ourselves up that much, okay? So I was in an emotional state and everything got heightened, and then, you know, I had these unrealistic, perfectionistic ideas about being super righteous and how could I do this without taking everything with a bit of a grain of salt and without loving myself first, which is your first goal in life to do. Love yourself first, and that's a hard one, and I've been learning about that. But it can really take a toll on you when you get an emotion way out of whack. Most of the time, most people just get kind of emotions out of whack sort of in here, in this area here. They don't really go down here, and they certainly don't go way down here. But let me tell you something about this round. This dark round down here, and we are always in the world of light, this dark round down here has power too. You can align with those forces and you can garner power from them in the darkness of your being. You don't really want that. We really want to stay in this life and associate with the power of the lightness of being, because we feel good and also because it unites our body. Whereas when you go into this round here, you begin to fragment more and more. And and over identify with these energies. So you really want to keep your energy up here so that you can associate more and more with the world of light, which will unify your body, and that'll unify you in the outside world as well, because whatever's going on inside of you is going to be mirrored on the outside of you. Now, this whole topic of vibration has massive nuances to it, and it has this is the world of invisibleness that supports everything you see. So not only is it absolutely critical to understanding it, it is what is supporting the outside world. So we have to rein ourselves in from depending so much on the outside and start building our inside world, because if that shatters, we're really in trouble, aren't we? We have to really build the resonance inside to become not just strong, and with strong, I don't mean troubadour strong. With strong, I mean inner resilience. And we can do that through a variety of ways, and one of the ways is building character. But I want to get back to the topic of exorcism and rebalancing. When we start rebalancing these emotions, and this is what I did when it happened to me, I shut everything down and I just turned and started focusing on love. I mean, I was actually frightened for like probably the first time in my life. Super, super unbelievably frightened. Like, I did not know what was happening. I had no idea. So what I did was I associated with the light and started focusing on love. And I actually started focusing on the light of love. And over the period of a few days, I had success. Because at the time I didn't really realize what was going on. And certainly at the time when I was so focused on this one negative emotion, I didn't know what would be the balance of that emotion to bring it in. I mean, I wasn't thinking in these terms. I was just completely lost in this sorrow of, what I had done, and without knowing it, and how can you beat yourself up for something that at the time you didn't know? I mean, this is the whole thing about life. I mean, ignorance is bliss. There is such truth to that. And when you step into the knowing that your actions are having on the world, it can really be, in some cases, of course, it can be wonderful, but there are those cases where you come to this understanding where there you were trying to do something right and you caused so much grief for everyone. Anyhow, so yeah, getting back to this and setting your mind right. If you are going through something like this, then focusing on love and focusing on, if you have a deity, and that deity, most deities do, if that deity is all about love, and most deities are, then I would start there, because what resonates to shift your vibration is what you believe in. It's all what you believe. And again, we are working, or I don't know if I mentioned this, but we are working in this life to really be able to focus our minds and believe. And when you see, children or people bending spoons with their mind, they are believing. And the belief is so strong that it's already happened. They're seeing the bent spoon and then it's bent. I just use that one, that example, because everybody's seen The Matrix where the kid bends the spoon. So I really wanted to just talk a little bit about exorcism, what causes it, and how you can sort of do an exorcism on yourself by shifting your mind immediately. And when you start shifting your mind, if you go through something like this where you have been in a deep state of sorrow or regret or whatever the negative emotion is, and you have been attracting some malefic stuff to you, to make the shift initially with something you can really believe in. Then once you get that belief going, you can really turn things around after that. You know, trying to feel love or, you know, think love when you're really not in a place of love is really hard. And so that's why using an icon or a deity to focus on, or a memory of love, can actually take you there. And if you have no memories of love, that can be really difficult, and I can certainly understand that. And so sometimes focusing on relief can actually take you into the same vibration as compassionate love, a light version. But once you get that that deep sense of relief, it moves so quickly into that compassion that you know, 1 second you're in relief and the next second you're just breathing this deep compassion, and it shifts everything, because this is the vibration of the mother. This is the vibration of deep space. She is the one that says the father cannot create unless he bows in love, and he must bow in love to all in order to create. She is humility, she is compassion, she is your protector, and that means she protects everyone. She protects the villains as much as the saints, okay? And there's a lot to be said also about those saints and what they're using for protection. They're using their belief in the higher power, and there is absolute truth to that as well. But today, this video is just on exorcism and how you can exorcism yourself through shifting your vibration so it doesn't go deeper into these darker realms, because you always want to keep your vibration up. And, you know, this is work. This is the work of life, you know, and we really have to man the way we use our emotions and our thoughts, and also the stuff that goes into our head. I mean, I was on the internet the other day, you know, people in front of me, these glamorous women and these super fit guys, and everybody's selling me something, and everybody's telling me this is the way to be. And, you know, it is so hard to buy that. And for a lot of my life, I was sucked into that. And you really have to, not only do you have to turn the blind eye, you have to really go into your own authenticity. And that can be a tricky thing. And that's why I say, you know, come to the farm, get really authentic, away from it all, where, you know, the power is going out and the internet doesn't work sometimes. I know that sounds absolutely frightening, but it's actually really cleansing. It's really cleansing to be out here in nature and to be around animals, and there's no one, you know, they're all set, no one for a, you know, mile radius around you, and they're all set back in time here. They're like 50 years behind any first world, I got to tell you, South Italy. But yeah, so that's how you can begin to shift your vibration in exorcism. To give yourself an inner exorcism if you go and something kind of malefic starts to happen to you. And boy, I gotta tell you, when it started happening to me, it was like larger than life, and it was frightening. I actually had some guy, this old friend of mine, I phoned him up and I had him come over and sleep in the bed next to me because I was so tired. I hadn't slept for a couple days. And just to calm me enough so I could go to sleep. So that's because my significant other wasn't here, and an old friend of the family. So that's how, and I'll tell you, I very rarely get frightened. I'm usually a bring it on kind of person. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, bring it on, bring it on. I want to see it. I want to face it. But this was pretty intense. So I just wanted to share with you what causes association with these malefic spirits, and what you can do about it, how you can give yourself a little exorcism in shifting your thoughts, shifting your focus, and bringing yourself up back to the sort of world of light, which is the world of intelligence and the world of knowing. okay? And that is the Father's world. I'll explain these two worlds in another video because sometimes I give super long videos, and I just want to really just isolate the topic a little bit more here. So I hope you got something out of this video. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, because we are creating a really interesting group here, and it's nice to really share our ideas and our experiences together. And plus, if you ever decide you want to visit Italy, I'm going to give all subscribers a discount on the little house out here. And we're almost finished with it. I'm going to do a video and show you guys what it looks like in a couple days. And then we are going to be working on the big house in town, which is right in the center square of town, and that sleeps, at least 5 people. It's got 5 bedrooms. It's quite large, and there's a lot of festivals that go on in this town. It's really adorable. And the front balcony overlooks where they put the center stage, so you get a really good look at it. But I prefer the country, so I prefer the farm. And again, thanks for being here, and please post your comments below. Any things that have happened to you, anything you can share with the group, and any tips that you might have done that you think can help others. I mean, because that's what this channel is really about, helping each other, right? All right then. Also, if you haven't joined the webinar, join the webinar, for heaven's sakes. See what the Kundalini, how it's all happening, and how you relate to the stars, heavens, the planet. Oh my goodness. Because that'll really change your worldview and how you see yourself. And that's what's really key in order making a really new start in life, to know that life is so much bigger than you ever thought it was. And with that, I'm going to say again, thanks for being here, and see you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye.